Hello Marvel Heroes fans! Today is the 2nd of January and I can't wait to come back to this game and create another guide for you. For those who are new to my channel, my name is Wilfred Wong and this is a place where you see videos and guides for this free-to-play game called Marvel Heroes. If you like this guide, check out the description below. There's a link back to my website with all the updated guide list. Emma Frost is a hybrid hero for melee build or can be a pure range and mental. So for those who are looking for a mental range build, there's another video on Emma Frost. This video is really very much on the melee and hybrid. All right, so now I'm going to change the format a little bit. I'm going to go into Danger Room because nowadays a lot of people asking me if I could create more video inside Danger Room for the guide, so I'll do that for you. And I'll talk about the gear and so on while inside the Danger Room because it could take a while to get through stage 1 and 2. And as always, there's time code at the description below, so feel free to click onto it and just jump to any session that you may want to watch. All right, so let's go. So here is Emma Frost with the melee build and the hybrid with the difficulties level challenge rating about 53. Cosmic Danger Room is not really that easy, but I don't know, man. I mean, nowadays I can't really read too much on this kind of rating, and you know, depends on the hero and so on. So all right, now when you look at Emma Frost, I'm going to play this game while sort of like explaining how she plays like to her to you. But very much when it comes to Emma Frost, you have to look at a couple of things, which is this armor here. I don't know why I can't. Oh, because I can't use signature. I forgot. All right, no signature is fine. So when it comes to Emma Frost, you have to sort of like look at the white bar on top. There's a secondary kind of like we call it secondary, and the kind of resource, when it is her armor, so it is to kind of protect her from all the damage that she got. And if this armor is empty, that's where she take a lot of damage. So that is how you see Emma Frost when you play Emma Frost, and that's one thing that you have to pay attention to. All right, so now I can't use signature, but that's fine. And I mean, you may actually see some kind of like this is called the hotbar dancing for Emma Frost because of the sudden dread. I put it onto the second hotbar. All right, so but that is the main. I mean, that's the only thing that you probably pay attention to when you see all this hotbar dancing a little bit. But I mean that's really not something I can do much about it. Now let me just throw a barrel. All right, so barrel is good. Alright, so now just let me explain my toolbar a little bit. So I've got all this like Torment, which is a damage over time. This is the Inspire Minion for this little Mole Mark 8 to sort of like a very nice damage over time. But it has to be around her, around this guy. And this one apply bleed, and it's important to sort of like apply bleed for the Diamond Crush to take into effect. And then this one is to conceal all the all the allies I have. And then this is to replace all the armor that I've lost with a cooldown. I can't use a signature, and I've got like this is CC Crowd Control Breaker. This is the Sudden Dread, which is the one that I talk about in a little bit of hotbar dancing. But I mean, that is it is what it is. All right, so it is important to be able to let me see whether that one worked or not. No, it doesn't. All right, so just get the minion to sort of like there, and I think there's a bit of lag right now. I don't know why there's some lags in this game these days, and my apologies. Usually it get really bad in stuff like Midtown Manhattan or boss fight and so on. So I'm going to just throw barrels. All right, so all right, since my pet is doing all the taunting, the pet is actually pretty good at the taunting as well. And the wow, all right, so there you go. I can't throw. Okay, Sudden Dread is to terrify, and wow, man, I really, yeah, because by the time I click onto it, it doesn't work. I click it again, and it's sort of like it just get to the same place. And come on, go! All right, Sudden Drag, Torment, and the Torment is actually pretty good, by the way, because it follow the mob even if you leave the area. Okay, so this is the one that conceal all the ally, and Sudden Drag. All right, Torment. All right. And I mean, that is really very relaxing when you play Emma Frost on this kind of build. You just have to make sure that every 8 seconds or so, every 10 seconds or so, you reapply the Torment and the I get lightning strike right in front of the civilian, and how do they survive, really? Right. So I'm going in, and there are a couple more. So I'm just going to sudden drag. All right. So this is apply the bleed, and the all right, go in there, apply the bleed, sudden drag, and that's it. Right. So very relaxing. Well, at least for these affixes, sudden drag is to sort of like, I mean. Well, I don't really like the signature because it doesn't give me the invulnerability debuff. It's kind of nice in a way that it does refill the mana spirit, right? So it's something that that I can't really use it in this kind of like setting because of the room affixes. But it is not the worst, I suppose. There are many other. More like taxing kind of like affixes, all right? So sudden drag and the or if you want, you can so inspire minion is taunt, all right? Or you can just add everybody into mental cloaking mode, which is also very nice. For example, like this, all right? So this is like all my allies, including myself, is in mental cloaking, and I can refill my diamond as well, diamond armor. To full, all right. So, but I mean, do bear in mind that because I think this room is very bad for Emperfrost of all the Nightling Orb. I mean, for melee, it really there's a mini boss there. So yeah. So once your armor is gone, it kind of take a lot of damage, as you can see. All right. So try to get it. Mental cloaking. All right. Sudden drag, inspire minion. And just apply the bleed every 4 seconds, by the way. So that is a rotation. I'll talk about rotation in just a little bit. And without the signature, it's actually quite hard to maintain the spirit because of the signature does a lot of the spirit return. And so that's it. And I've got my a lot of loot here. Wonderful, wonderful. I love this. I've been saying a lot of times, and I probably will not get tired talking about this one. Is that I really love the kind of like an event here. All right, so I'm going in as well, and just do a stun here. All right, so I'm going to go a stun, and then all right, and I'm just going in. Then I could even inspire minion to give the extra damage over time. And by the way, it's always around the minion. So I would like to pick one that is like melee one rather than range one. Right? So because the melee one always will get to the place. And mental cloaking, and everybody just like everybody's just invisible for a while. Right? So refill the diamond armor when it's so this is bad. Because all these things are very, this is very bad. So I'll tell you what, let's not risk it. And why risk it, right? So I'm going to just get rid of all these things first. Just bear with me. Emperfrost melee damage is actually pretty doing all right. Yeah, I can't, although I can't, always complain about the new before me, but I do miss it a lot now because I can't really recuperate my spirit. Okay, refill your armor when it's not again, and then after that, throw the barrel if you can, and try not double click it or whatnot. Yeah, that one is an epic fail. On the barrel, kind of like I should create a guide on how to throw barrels for myself. All right, so that's completed. Next bit, let's go to the next bit. All right, next simulation. Very nice. So now maybe on to the stage 2. Now that you sort of like get what kind of like sort of like gameplay she's like. So let's talk a little bit about gear as well. So now for melee hybrid is very much like a hybrid gear. So I would very much suggest get something like the this kind of ring is good. Hybrid ring. The roll is very, very fantastic. But it's quite decent, and the power dupe is probably one of the best for Emperfrost for melee, and the power cosmic as well is something that is nice. But for medallion wise, the hood. I've got a really nice hood. It's quite easy to farm a hood. Medallion. What do I need to do? Destroy asset, and I think in the old day, no, it still cannot break boxes, man. Yeah, the sad thing about Emperfrost is just that you can't really break stuff here, and without the ultimate is. Without signature, it's going to it's going to be very, very slow. So okay, anyhow, I tell you what, let me just throw boxes here. All right. So yeah, one thing good about barrel is I can break something. All right, so Amerfrost is not really a very good hero to sort of like okay, refill to do this one, because I can't break any boxes. Okay, refill armor. All right, cloak everybody. And the I mean, think about it. I mean, with the inspire minion taunts, with the the rest of the thing that go along with it, I mean, you don't really get to. It's a lot of very good defensive skill that Amerfrost melee has. I mean, even for range has as well. And I'll show some defensive stats later. I mean, it kind of like talk. I mean, when we talk about gear, that's also nice to talk about that as well. And the and the reality is that when it comes to the gear choice, it's very much closing a gap of what you currently have and Sudden Drag, and don't forget Sudden Drag. All right. So it is really about closing a gap that what you have, and the and like if you look at Amerfrost, look at my Amerfrost, you look at her stats, damage reduction is about 47% or so, but then she has a really high dodge as well. All right, so dodge is like 8 point something percent. The flat is also pretty high. So what I'm trying to say is that I actually took my eyes off. I was like not quite sure whether it was okay or not. So what I'm trying to say is that she is by design a defense, deflat hero, not really a dodge hero. So if you roll affixes for dodge, because her dodge is close to 0, if you roll affixes to her dodge, in fact she will actually benefit a lot from that as well. So that's why to me Amerfrost is like an experiment. Okay, mental cloaking, just go invisible. All right, so. Wow, girl's best friend. Not sure what it is. Must be something to do with diamond. Yeah, okay, let me just throw a barrel here. Come on, man. Hold it there. Does it work? Yeah, it does work. Alright. So, yeah, I mean, I always say that, gearing is about closing a gap. Alright. Let me just get this one sorted. Alright, Sudden Drag. Just a stun, terrified. Mental Cloak. Alright, apply the torment on the other side. Okay, reapply the bleed, which is a kick. And then just wow. Oh, hang on a sec, need to get out a bit. Yeah, out of mana. Alright, so anyway, let me get the alright, refill this spirit. Refill the armor, diamond armor. Alright, so that is the thing. Wow, this is a bit hard without a signature, huh? Yeah, one of those affixes that I should have avoided, and throw some barrels. All right, so while I'm waiting for my spirit to come back up and the our barrel and all. All right, so let's continue to talk about the what I mean by closing a gap, because let me just stand somewhere I could sort of talk. So what I mean by is that by design Amerfrost does not have a lot of dodge, but like if I wrote dodge onto my costume, so if you take away the dodge, it's actually it dropped by a bit, but if you put it back in, it's sort of like it go by 3%. Now 3% doesn't look a lot, but then because it can evade completely as well, and the 7.8% is pretty decent as well. So this before all the procs come in. So I've been experimenting, see whether it is worthwhile to go into this kind of like gameplay to see whether the whole dodge work or not. Because if you think about it, right, I mean, as a melee hero having only 22,000 health, I mean, really, you probably would agree that this is not the best setup that Amerfrost would have, right? I mean, for that kind of like for a melee hero with 23,000 health. So just look at it from that perspective wise, and see. See where that is why I feel that she's really strong in terms of defensive stats, right? I mean, 22,000 as a melee, no problem in a cosmic danger room. But I better not say too early. There'll be a duplicated boss somewhere. I cannot use ultimate, so this is going to be and the okay, man, that's it. And I'm going to just inspire minion, and I'm just going to throw the barrel. And this time around, I make sure that all the barrels are being throw to the right place. Whoa, hang on a sec. Alright, let's go. Yeah, so I just focus a little bit. I kind of clicked it wrongly. Alright, so actually, you know what? It just do a barrel and it could beat the game. I mean, seriously, you don't need any DPS to it. All right. Right. I mean, you know, this is. I hope this is a fun kind of like situation to look at and to actually watch the Danger Room boss fight. I always like the boss fight, and now it's you know, mental cloaking, so everybody cannot see each other. It's good. All right. Inspire minion. All right. That's done. All right, so that is, I mean, it's really not much, a lot of like excitement going on. Hope you know, that's okay, because I mean, you know, that's why I always say, right? People always think that you know, room affixes, I mean, difficulty challenge level 53 or 60. I mean, these are pretty alright, but then it actually look quite easy as well. But of course, Emma Frost being Emma Frost is pretty strong right now, and that helps a lot when it comes to, like, you know, conquering Danger Room. That's why I really like this build, become my main build, because she's so durable when she's starting to hit and the procs start to come up, and you know. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to go back to the training room and talk a little bit about the build and so on. So just stay tuned. All right. Alright, so guess what? I was using a wrong set of gear when I was in Danger Room. I was actually using the range melee mental gear, my apologies, and the right one to use is all the melee gear. So now, so that's why I was a little bit puzzled about the low health and so on. So her health is about 25%, 25,000, but the very encouraging stat is the damage reduction. If you look at it, 48%, and the but not at all. I mean, looking at 8.5% and the 26.3% respectively for the dodge as well as the deflect, making her really a strong hero, even if her health may not be as high. And I mean, you've seen in Danger Room, she could have done even better had I used the right gear for her. So that is a little bit unfortunate, but it could have run a little bit faster. But that's fine. It's Emma Frost. Now you see how strong she is, yeah. And the when it comes to the rotation, because she is a little bit of dated hero. So I'm not going to lie to you, managing her cooldown as well as hotbar dance is not going to be easy. The reason why I need to bring all this power up here is that, you know, if you put it on the hotbar 2, you will not be able to see the cooldown. And Diamond Heart is something really good because it does replenish the entire bar here. You can actually time it when to use it. You know, if I mean, if you don't really need it, you don't need to use it, kind of thing. And the I mean, need before me as well, every 20 seconds is something that you should have it on your hotbar. And also the unlock potential is the one that gives you this whole core aura of concealment. So that is really, really important to have. So with that said, I mean, you know, that left the crowd control breaker to be on the hotbar. I mean, you know, my function key 2, and then function key 3 will be the sudden drag as well as an extra layer. So now she has a couple of layers here. She can have Torment, which is this one here, Sudden Drag, which is the hotbar dancing here, alright? Then after that, Inspire Minion is wonderful because the minion taunts more than the cooldown itself. So cooldown is 12 seconds, taunt more than 14.4 seconds. So in a way, Emma is not getting a lot of hit as well because this little guy here look like a rat, but sort of like it's really good. Actually, by the way, this rat has this mole has I had a long discussion about this mole in my previous video with one of my friends here. But anyway, this mode has a contagious as well as the commanding, so it's one of the pretty decent kind of like affixes to have. And then so those are the two mental layer, and the pet can do Inspire Minion, a very good layer as well. And the third one, the fourth one is the Spin Kick, which will give you the bleed as well as the another damage over time, but more importantly, it buffs your Diamond Crush. And then you have unlock potential, blah blah blah, and so on. So now, when it comes to rotation wise, this is about it depends on your power duration, but it's around 9.5 seconds, 10 seconds or so. Then you look at the sudden drag is about 10 seconds as well. So you could suppose use Kneel Before Me as a prompter to prompt when to reapply the both power, which is Torment, and the sudden drag, because you know this one is 20 seconds, so when it counts down to 10 seconds, you can reapply again. And the when it comes to the Spin Kick, it's going to be 4 seconds, but then you know Inspire Minion has 12 seconds, so when it counts down, say when it counts down to the 8 to the 4, you can reapply again. All right, so in theory, that is what happens when it comes to single target, but in reality, when it comes to Danger Room and so on, things have become very fluid, so you don't really count that hard. So, you know, don't get disheartened by the fact that, by the reality that she's a little bit dated and sort of like, you know, all these are just everywhere. But when it comes to single target, when it comes to boss kind of thing, you just have to focus a little bit. You make sure that this is applied every 4 seconds so that this one becomes awesome. You make sure that the Torment and the sudden drag is applied, and this one is on cooldown, this one's on cooldown. Alright, so that is the rotation. Next bit is on the build itself. when you talk about the melee hybrid Emma Frost, the build is going to be very straightforward. I mean, I've gone through the mathematics on my previous video on the mental build and the mental ranged build. So let's talk about the Diamond Paragon first. That is probably something that is quite obvious to you as well, and is to use the Diamond Crush as max it. This one become your main spender. There aren't many other options. The other option is basic, but basic doesn't really hit hard. The other one is the Spin Kick, work really fine with these two, so this one go hand in hand. You have to put one point in the Lustrous Lunge. It's one of those very old hero whereby it doesn't even give you the first a movement kind of power at level 1. So yeah, I mean that's how dated the hero is. And the other two power that I would like to recommend to use Diamond Form. Diamond Form give you a lot of good stuff in terms of the flat and the damage rate, defense rating. Now you could potentially 1 point into this one if you are comfortable with it, but I sort of like just maxing this guy anyway. Alright, so now, and the other one that I like to recommend is a Diamond Heart. Diamond Heart is the one that not only does it give you a buff to your physical damage, it does give you you recuperate all your 100% of your diamond armor, and it's really good for even for the 20-second cooldown. It's really good. So that is something that I would like to recommend on that. And just 1 point here, you don't use this power, but I take the passive just in case someone hits me. I get some kind of a damage rating against the person or the enemy. As far as the Hellfire Headmistress is concerned, you really don't need to put too much here in terms of the domination, because you are not really it's good to have, but it's not something that I would recommend too much on this one. I think I'd rather have something that I can buff my own power with this one rather than the so this is the Inspire minion that you like to max this one, because it's a lot of it's a very good damage over time layer. You don't really need to do much. You just need to click the button every 12 seconds and you're awesome. Why not? Sudden Dread is alright. It's a nice layer on top, but the good thing about it is Terrify. You've seen how it worked in Danger Room. So with Terrify, with Inspire minion, with the Mental Cloaking and the armor, diamond armor, Emma Frost as a melee is really a walk in the park in some of the harder content. And the 1 point here now, this is not really a very obvious choice, because if you are not playing a mental range, then why would you want to even have 1 point here? Now my thinking behind it is that, first of all, it's sort of like but you do have to go back to human form. Like when you do kneel before me, you do have to be in a human form. And also, usually what happens is when you are doing all this stuff, when you're in a human form, you're actually losing armor, the damage upon you. So you're actually not at full. So you can actually benefit from all this stuff that is there. So it's good. I just recommend 1 point. Don't need to go too overboard on that one. And the other one, Kneel Before Me, is the one that I hope there was some invulnerability, kind of like a shield around her while she does it. Do be very careful when you use this one. Make sure in the next couple of seconds you will not be instantly one shot by standing over there, not moving anywhere. So it's one of the worst signature I've seen in the game, but it's just one of those that you need it as Emma, because it does hit very hard and it does have a spirit return as well. Alright, so now then on the other side, the Omega Telepath is really about the this one is very nice. I love this damage over time layer, because it stays with the mob even when the mob is running around. So I really like this kind of power. And and just 1 point here is fine as well, because you are not really gearing for a lot of mental damage, although it is a hybrid of both. But you can only put the points into so many places. Alright, so this 1 point here. And the 1 point here, definitely the Mental Cloaking is important as well. You can actually use this one even if you don't use it to break jailbreak, you can use it every 6 seconds to just get away from danger if something is really hitting you hard. Alright, the last one is the Unlock Potential. Now Unlock Potential is very nice because it kind of you've seen it how it works. Every 30 seconds you can just cloak everybody for for a while, for 5 seconds, and you're not taking any damage when you're cloaked. And that's also one of the reasons why when she seems so strong in harder content. But more so, it does give you a nice buff as well. Now, whether you would like to 1 point into diamond form and 20 point into unlock potential, entirely up to you. All right. So if you're feeling comfortable that your Emma is not really like getting defeated in some of these harder content, so why not dump all the point, unlock potential, make her even more awesome in this melee build. And as always, I mean, all these are just my suggestion. You can feel free to tweak it here and there if you feel that something worked better for you. All right. So now, with that said, next bit is on the Omega as well as the Synergy. Now, Omega wise, I'm experimenting something different here. I mean, I think I'll give you some pointer here, but no need to follow everything I've done because now, first of all, she's a physical and mental. There aren't many things you can do here because, whatever you put, like if you go for plus energy, you are not benefiting your physical side. If you go for plus strength, you are not benefiting your energy side. So why even do that? So spin tech is something generic I'll recommend. So nothing here. This one gives me the crit and it's beautiful. Do I need this one? I probably don't need that. It is more for fun. I do see this one Legion proc from time to time, just purely for fun. I've got extra points. I don't know where to put it. I just want to put somewhere that I can use. Somehow, but I mean, you don't need to follow this part. If you want to be more defensive, build her to be more defensive, feel free to do so. Now, this is a very terrible note. The return is not that great, but I've got so many points. I can't really put anywhere for Emma Frost. And this one is very much like mental and physical proc, cross proc each other for the plus 8%. So that's good. I no need to put too many. So now another suggestion is that if you feel you want to be more durable for your Emma, you can try this one. I would not really recommend this one because she's pretty high in defense as well. So it's a waste, diminishing return, and also a lot of her power range as well. So yeah, something to think about. But if you want to go for this one, go for it. And then 10 points on the Warpath. And this is also not really that good to invest too high, but I've got too many points, and some like Blob, some don't. I don't think she really need that. I mean, if you feel that she still need a little bit of help, and you don't really gear for dodge like I do for your costume, then yeah, go for it because you have nothing to lose. Your dodge is going to be 0, right? You just have defense to gain. All right. So now in hero synergy, just pick something that is like crit, mental crit. Those are really good one. More mental energy, mental damage, crit damage rating, and also remember she's doing physical damage as well. So physical. And Psylocke does both physical and mental, so those are really good. And Squirrel Girl on the boss buff. Winter Soldier, both the range and the melee. War Machine +1 fighting. Wolverine on the brutal. I could actually move a pawn here as well on the bleeding, although because I'm using Emma Frost as a semi-range as well, when the enemy are far away, when I use the Torment and the Sudden Dread, I don't really get to apply bleed over that side, so I don't want to put a synergy whereby I can't really fully utilize it. So that is all from the build perspective. The last bit is on the gear wise. Now, like I always said to you all that there are many options in this game. You could close a gap somewhere and then you have more budget to do something else elsewhere. There is a best artifact guide that gives you some guidance on which artifacts are really good compared to others. So, and I always use what I have and I try to make the best out of it. So the first thing you probably want to look into is that when it comes to Emma Frost, choose something that is neutral, like Hand of Doom, that is very much neutral. These are this applies to both physical and mental. Well, this is pretty not that good, but it's something that I have. I just use it. And the Metasensory is one option. The Nano Poison is another option. So I would probably recommend the Nano Poison instead. Gem of the Curse is nice to have as well. I wish all 4 are green, but it's so hard to roll all these things. You could sink in millions into doing that. So, but do check out my other video on other options when it comes to the artifact. If you depends on what you have as well, by the way. And as far as the medallion is concerned, as a physical mental hero, I think this is pretty decent. Don't you think so? Yeah, it's pretty good, and it's quite easy to farm Hood as well. Like I said, it's just like keep farming, just keep going back to the terminal and try to get it sorted. In terms of react wise, if we really want DPS, go for the crit damage rating. For me, since I'm so invested into the whole defense kind of thing and just conquer the danger. I mean, she's extremely durable in the Cosmic Patrol as well. But nowadays, Cosmic Patrol seems quite easy, so I'm not making video on that anymore. And I could do it. You can do a live on hit or crit damage rating. Either one is fine. Then the power dupe is something I would highly recommend. Whether you want to apply it on the mental or physical or melee or range, I don't think any one of them is really ideal. So may as well do something like a defense to make her even stronger. That's my recommendation when it comes to power dupe hybrid hero. Then power cosmic is one that you probably stick with. I don't think there's another Grace AT legendary suitable for her hybrid because she's so hybrid, range, melee, mental, physical, right? And this like I said, this is really nice ring for the for a lot of hero like hybrid or range, and you can pick one mental, physical, you can pick one range, melee, either one is fine. Then in terms of gear wise, I'm pretty happy with her gear. I think I could do better with some of these stats, definitely. Some of the red really kind of bugs me, but do farm, keep farming on this set of gear. This is the one that I use for the melee. There's another one for ranged. You could sort of think about whether you want to use something else here, but I thought this is actually pretty decent because Inspire Minion is actually doing quite a lot of passive damage across the board. Costume wise, I experimented on dodge, and I think it pays off really well. I experimented on dodge, pays off really well. But you could either go back to the crit damage rating. That one, if you are going for raid and you're happy with what Ember Frost can do, then yeah, go for the crit damage rating, give you the maximum result as a hybrid. And this is the old design. I've gone for health as well, but I probably don't need the health anymore with the dodge. I think it works out pretty much the same, really. But I think I prefer a dodge because she has 0 dodge. So that is all, and it's a pet. So that is all I have to say about Ember Frost. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, leave me comments below. Happy to answer any question you have, and do feel free to request for video as well. This is one of the video requests, and check out my link in the below in the description of my video. Go back to my website. There's a lot of guides for you to watch as well. So yeah, Happy New Year and bye.